All right, let's dive into one of the wildest and most important stories in all of Zen. We're talking about Linji Yixuan, a master who is an absolute legend. But here's the thing. His own teachers had some, let's just say, less than flattering nicknames for him. I'm talking bedwetting kid and madman. So how on earth does that guy become one of the most revered figures in Buddhism? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack.
So let's just start with this one. Yeah, you're seeing that right. This bedwetting kid. That's how the great Zen master Dayu described the man who would become the legendary Linji. I mean, wow, not exactly what you'd call a glowing recommendation, is it? And if that wasn't enough, his own teacher, Master Huangbo, called him this madman. So just to recap, our future Zen icon is being called a bedwetting kid and a madman by the top masters of his day. You really can't make this stuff up. So the big question is, how does this happen? How does this supposed bedwetting madman completely turn it all around? Well, this is the story of his incredible journey from total confusion to mind-blowing enlightenment. And honestly, it's a story that challenges everything we think we know about what it means to learn and what it means to teach. Okay, so our story kicks off with Linji as a young monk. He's studying under the great Master Huangbo, and by all accounts, he's the model student. Quiet, hardworking, does everything he's supposed to do. And he keeps this up for 3 whole years. He's disciplined, he's dedicated, but there's one really strange thing. In all that time, for 3 solid years, he never once approaches his master with a single question about the teachings. Not one. Well, the head monk, a guy named Muzo, starts to notice this, and he gets a little concerned. He sees this bright student who just isn't engaging on a deeper level. So he goes to Linji and basically says, look, you have to go ask the master a question if you ever want to make real progress. He even tells him exactly what to ask. And this is such a crucial point in the story. Linji doesn't go to his master with a question that's been burning inside him. Nope, he goes with a borrowed one, a question that was handed to him. And the result, well, let's just say it was not what anyone was expecting. So Linji does what he's told. He goes before Master Huangbo, and he asks the big one, the question Muju gave him. What is the fundamental principle of Buddhism? You can just imagine him standing there expecting some deep, profound philosophical answer. But that is not what he got. The instant the words were out of his mouth, Huangbo grabbed a stick and hit him 20 times. No explanation, nothing. So Linji goes back to the head monk, totally confused, and the head monk just says, go ask him again. He does, and gets another 20 blows. Incredibly, the head monk pushes him to go a 3rd time with the exact same brutal result. I mean, just think about it. 60 blows and not a single word of explanation. At this point, Linji is more lost and confused than ever. He basically concludes, okay, this isn't for me. I'm in the wrong place. I just don't have what it takes. And that's it. He decides to leave the monastery for good. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. Huangbo doesn't just let him go. Instead, he tells him to go on a journey to see another master, a man named Dayu. And this little trip was about to change absolutely everything. So you have to picture Linji arriving at Dayu's place. He's exhausted, probably still in pain, and just feeling completely defeated. He tells Master Dayu the whole baffling story, the 3 questions, the 60 blows, all of it. He's probably expecting some sympathy, maybe a bit of gentle guidance. But instead of sympathy, Dayu says this to him. Huangbo was so kind to you with a grandmother's heart, yet you come here asking what you did wrong? And with those words, it's like a lightning bolt. Something inside Linji just shatters, and his entire world snaps into focus in a single brilliant flash. He gets it. He finally understands. Huangbo's blows weren't a punishment. They were a desperate, compassionate attempt to knock him out of his head, to shatter his reliance on intellectual, secondhand knowledge. The problem wasn't that he asked a question. It was that he asked someone else's question. It was a fierce, radical kindness. And what's the very first thing Linji does after this profound awakening? He punches Master Dayu 3 times in the side. Not with anger, but with a sudden, crystal-clear understanding. Then, he turns right around and heads straight back to Huangbo, a completely changed man. I mean, the transformation is just absolute. The timid, confused student who got beaten for asking a question, he's gone. In his place is an enlightened master, so confident in his own direct experience that he now has the audacity to strike his own teachers.
So when Linji gets back and promptly slaps his old master, Huangbo doesn't get angry. He's overjoyed. He bursts out laughing and shouts, "This madman is here again, pulling the tiger's whiskers." He saw that his student finally, truly understood. He knew his madman was now a master, and he immediately recognized Linji as his successor. From that point on, Linji developed his own legendary teaching style. It was direct, it was shocking, and it was all centered on this powerful concept he called the true man of no rank. So what did he mean by that? He taught that inside this physical body, what he called this lump of red flesh, there is a true person without any rank, without any labels. This is the authentic you, always present and always acting, before you pile on all the ideas about who you think you are. And when a monk actually asked him to define this concept, Linji didn't give him a lecture. He grabbed the monk and yelled, "Speak! Speak now!" Of course, the monk hesitates, trying to think of a smart answer. Linji just shoves him away. See, the point wasn't the definition. The true man was right there, in the grabbing, in the shouting, in the direct, living experience of that very moment. This became the core of his whole teaching. Stop searching for truth in books or in other people's ideas. It's found in your own direct experience, right here, right now. The answer isn't something you find, it's what you already are. So, Linji's story leaves us with this pretty provocative question, doesn't it? When is a beating an act of kindness? It forces us to question all our assumptions about learning and about the often uncomfortable paths to true understanding. It asks us to look past the surface of any action to find its deeper intent, a lesson that's as shocking and as relevant today as it was 1,000 years ago.